What up, bosses? Your bro MTBTR. I'm going to bring you some Feng Mao gameplay on Paragon Patch V42. So we've still got a couple days before it goes live. Once again, this is against those pesky bots as PvP has completely finished. There is no more. Unfortunately, I'm no longer actually on the PV or on the test server anymore. This is actually some gameplay that I recorded for a separate video that I was going to do, looking at how you actually earn gold in game. But as soon as you guys really enjoyed my Twin Bass gameplay and you guys asked if I actually had some more, this is some Feng Mao. Basically, we start off in the jungle. I don't really do too much in the jungle. I sort of walk around the map, and it was basically the idea that I was trying to capture some footage to talk about how gold works, which I'm currently working on, but those videos take a lot of time to edit. My guide I did recently on how to build a deck took around 6 hours, so it's a work in progress, basically. But nonetheless, jungle at the moment, in my opinion, is way too weak. And as far as I'm aware, and I haven't actually seen it in Ryan, but I was told by my buddy that Paragon are planning to rework the jungle, and I'm sure they are. You know, it's probably going to be coming towards when the map gets updated in about a month's time. Like the jungle, if you see now, when we attack these white camps, they literally do 0 damage to me. You could actually stand here. I haven't done it in this video as I was trying to kill everything as quick as possible, and Chimera coming over to rub that pesky minion off me. Cheers, buddy. If you actually stand there, they literally do 0 damage to you. And that's where, obviously, when you go down the Vitality tree, one of the points you can get, it gives you jungle regen, or every time you hit a jungle minion, you get some like health back. I think it's around about 2.5 at level 1. You could stand there and take 0 damage, which, in my opinion, it's not very good. If I was to play, if you compare it to, say, League of Legends, and you did a camp on League, they absolutely wreck you at level 1. Level 2, like, the first few levels in the jungle on League are super challenging because they've got different mechanics to them, right? You've got certain camps where there's 5 minions already at level 1, whilst in here you don't get 5 minions till after like the 5-minute mark, and that's if you haven't cleared it, right? So it's not really much of a challenge. You see the green buff doesn't really touch me here, and this is at level 1, and I'm just auto-attacking. I didn't even use a spell there, which I just don't think is great. Minions really don't do enough damage now. They've tried to speed up the gameplay of the game, which, you know, in some ways I kind of agree with, and in some ways I don't dislike it, you know. Until we can actually sit down and properly play some PvP. I've played a few games here and there, but unfortunately with it being the test server and there not being a great amount of people on it, it's been quite hard to find games, and waiting like an hour for a game isn't too great. But I'm going to be streaming Twitch TV Mr. Grass. I believe it's the 8th of August in about 5 days. Once it comes out, I will be streaming. I do make a sick little play with the Feng Mao here. I'm going to jump in and... So, what we have seen, the biggest changes to the gameplay at the moment, actually in-game, we had the attack speed, which you can see already, I just think it's crazy. And that's without actually putting any points down the agility tree. On top of that, then heroes, or we also have reduced cooldowns. Minions now actually spawn a little bit earlier, so you see that they spin at the minute mark. So they have tried definitely to impact the speed of the game here, that's for sure. So regarding how currency slightly changed now, but previously when you used to last hit stuff and kill turrets and whatnot, you would get you had your card level, right, which went from 1. Previously on the old Agora, if any of you guys that were there back in the day when we were youngsters, it used to go 369, which was really annoying, right, because if you wanted to buy a card, you'd have to make sure that you had the actual you'd have to make sure that you had 3 points instead of just 1, which was long. But then they changed it so it went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then you could get upgrades and blah 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 blah. So that's completely changed now. Now we just have a flat rate of gold. That can be seen in the top left. Currently we're at like 2,847. And that goes up, I believe you get 24 gold every 5 seconds. Like I say, it's in my guide that I'm going to be bringing out. I have all the little numbers written down and go into them in a lot more detail. What I'm actually going to do, whilst this is playing, I will get up now and we can quickly go through it. Work in progress. It's one video. Normally I make all my videos live, so it's actually quite nice. We can discuss things not live. I'm not sure if you guys are interested in maybe some of this when the game actually does come out. I can talk over some of my gameplay, or even actually, you know, I feel I'm reasonably good at Paragon, but maybe we could actually analyze some pro gameplay, which might be pretty cool. One thing though, which I don't like about the replay system, it doesn't look as cool. I'd like if the replay system could make the game look like this, so that when you go into replay, it looks like you're actually there playing as that champ. That would be super cool, instead of the whole overtop view. Keep the overtop view, but nonetheless. That's for another day. So I personally worked this out myself, and these figures, I believe they're all right. You know, I played quite a few games, and I was there typing on Word, trying to double check to make sure these numbers added up. So every 5 seconds, you get 24 gold. So in theory, you could just stand there all game, and eventually you might have enough gold to buy something. It's definitely going to be a long-ass way of doing it. When it comes to minion waves, melee minions, so the ones at the front, the little pesky ones, they give you 68 gold. Range minions give you 95 gold, and the big minions give you 115 gold. So it is really important that you are last hitting. Regarding how this actually pans off onto if you're a support, I'm not too sure on that. So previously the way it used to work was that the support would get 50, I believe it would be 100% and then to 50% and then to 25%. What made it used to be really snowbally on the older versions, back when we were youngsters, around about, I think it was when I started playing, I think it was about 2 years ago now. I remember playing in January. I come back from Thailand and I got invited to the alpha. But the reason snowballing or the death ball used to work is because everyone got 100% XP. So you could be in lane, and if I last hit a minion, all 4 people in that lane would get the same amount of value, which is just crazy, right? But I'm not 100% sure how that actually works now. Then with turrets, you get 224 gold for killing a turret, that's globally, and there's a first turret bonus of 204. Whilst in the jungle, the white camps are valued at 67 gold, which is one shot of the melee minions. How about that? That's not too fair, right? You then have the green buff, that gives you 90, and then you have obviously either minion on each side as well, 67, so with some quick maths, that works out, what, 167? Double that, would be 154, so that's, 244? That might be completely wrong, we're going to go with it, sounds good. You then have the green buff, no, sorry, set the green buff. You have the gold buff, which is 204, and the river buffs still give you absolutely no gold whatsoever. The raptors... I've worked out the raptors somewhere. I can't seem to see it. All Prime gives us 816 gold, or that's globally for your team. I believe I was actually the last hitter on that, so I'm not sure how that actually works out globally. It's stuff like this that it's just I've been able to work out as I've been playing on my own for most of it. The raptors, which we just did kill then, I completely missed. But you get the basic idea. Like I say, I have gone into I will be going into much more detail. But you guys really enjoyed the gameplay, so I wanted to just bring some more out, and you guys can get a better feel for maybe how it actually feels as playing as a melee champion compared to it being ranged. But like attack speed here, my biggest issue with the game, and I was thinking about making a video about it, but I know I'm not one for going off on all kind of rants, but literally when I was playing Twin Blast and even Feng Mao, or we're not really doing it here, but I can just hold my finger down on my mouse button. I'm a mad clicker because I played League, so I'm always having to click. On League you have to click to auto attack. Whilst on this, I can literally hold my finger down and I'm just firing auto attacks constantly, and I don't like the idea of that. There needs to be some separation. Maybe towards super late game when I've got like crazy amounts of attack speed, but for me to be at level 1 where I can literally just stand in lane and just hold my auto attack down, it's crazy. Look at my attack speed here. Like, sure, we're a little bit fed, so you know the game's going at a lot of quicker speeds than what it maybe necessarily be if we were playing a PvP game. But at 8 minutes, I'm level 8, and look at me cutting down this turret. It's like ridiculous. And this is without any items. The only item I have at the moment is a jungle, some kind of regen in the jungle. Yeah, I just, look at that. I don't think that's right, personally. I'd love to know what you bosses think. Yeah, like, again, until we actually get into some PvP and actually start trying it out, and then you kind of get a better image for how fast the speed of the game's going to go. But without a doubt, you know, you could be reaching this point. If you were to snowball in the jungle, there's no reason at 8 minutes you couldn't be 3-0 as a jungler with that amount of farm. It probably wouldn't have taken the turrets. Like, 6 turrets have already gone down by now. So that kind of makes a bit of a difference. So that probably wouldn't actually, well, I hope it wouldn't happen, that would be pretty crazy. But nonetheless, you get a feel like straight from the get-go, you are feeling strong, and I personally just don't like that. It's too much. You know, they get the MOBAs. You know, it starts to go into the terms of maybe being like a brawler. MOBAs, you know, as much as I get, they want to make it quicker, and you know, I think personally, Paragon has a horrible point. There's a point on the game which I really dislike, and it's like this mid game where nothing happens. And I don't know if that's down to the game or if that's down to the player base where people don't know what they're doing. Like, I'm got to round about platinum, you know. I haven't put enough time to get into diamond. Maybe towards diamond, you know, people are more organized, so when they actually have a lead, they finish off it. Like, I find, you know, people get a lead on this game and they don't know what to do with it. So they get a kill and then they bang. They don't take objectives, they don't take raptors, they don't take prime, or they don't push for turrets. And that draws the game out. And I'm not sure if that's the issue here, and that's why, and then because of that, so Paragon have just tried to boost the crap out of everything. And we've had this in previous patches when they've done like this, and they've had to revert it back. So, be interested to see how it goes. What I'm really looking forward to, and what was actually meant to happen when I was on this test server, was that we were meant to be playing on the new map. So the map's going to be completely, not reworked, but it's meant to be getting a massive visual upgrade. What I'm hoping is that the minion camps are going to change. I'm not really so fussed about actual laning minions, but what I would really like to see is the jungle. The jungle it has to be changed, and it needs to be changed sooner than later. I don't really necessarily mind if they keep the camps looking like that for the time being, if they really want to, but there needs to be some new mechanics. The jungle is just way too boring, and it's too easy, man. There is no challenge. It's a jungle that can just literally go in there, kill his whole jungle in like 2 minutes. Like I can kill a white camp and have 10 seconds to spare before the green buff actually spawns at level 1. That's just crazy, right? Like, yeah, I don't like that, and it is something that does bug me. And I was gonna make a short video about it, but I'm sure that it is gonna be. I'm sure Epic are aware of this, and I've left it in my. I had to fill out a survey, and it's something I did left there, and they have been good at listening to feedback, and I'm sure they're not gonna leave it like that. But it needs to be. I would personally, my personal opinion. I don't know how you guys feel about it. I would like to see camps change. I'd like to see there be, you know, some camps that maybe spawn another camp or bigger camps, some kind of different mechanic camps. You know, I'm not a fan of these current mechanics at the moment. They just stand there and they just hit you. And I'd quite also like to see another buff in the jungle. At the moment, you only have the green buff. Previously, on the old map, we used to have 2 buffs. We used to have the red, and I believe it was the blue. Obviously, we didn't have river buffs, and river buffs are contested a little bit more, but they're so easy to kill, right? You can just walk up to a river buff, one hit it, and you walk away. If there was another buff, you know, even maybe I don't know, maybe on the side lane or somewhere towards the back of the jungle, because it brings people into your jungle, then it needs to be like more than one hit. You know, it needs to spend like 10 hits. You need to put some time in it, because it gives a chance that maybe a fight's going to happen. And I think making more fights happen on the game would be a good thing. And by putting another camp in the jungle, green buff's always going to be gone most of the time, right? Unless you're some proactive team that you decide to all run in there and gank them at the same time, right? Then most likely that camp's going to be gone. So if there was another camp, maybe actually bring in people, make more fights happen, and maybe actually make the Amber Link more useful. At the moment, especially at lower elos, the Amber Link is hardly touched. People don't invade. There's no reason to really invade, to actually run that risk to run into their jungle just to hit that Amber Link a couple of times, unless you're actually guaranteed you're going to get the green buff. I don't think it's worth it. You know, unless you're an organised team. And solo queue is a mess at most times, let alone when you're trying to pull something crazy off like that. So that's something that's a little bit of an issue, in my opinion. But I'd love to know what you guys think. You know, how you want to see it actually pan out. But that would be cool. And I really personally missed harvesters. Like I loved harvesters. It was something that I think that made Paragon unique. They had harvesters, they had prime, what you could dunk, and then you could redunk. I didn't mind them getting rid of the redunking because it made games super long, but the fact you could respawn inhibs, that was like 2-hour games back then. But I would personally like to see the fact you could I like the dunking mechanic. That you had to capture it and then you had to dunk it. You know, it made another fight happen. And it gave the chance for the enemy team to actually kind of get back into it, and the fact that they could steal the prime and then dunk it in their cell, I really liked that, and I think that was a cool, unique feature. A lot of people seem to disagree with me on that, but I think it was super cool. And harvesters, they made the game really unique, and I don't know why they got rid of harvesters. They put the Amber Link there, but you know, the harvesters, and made the jungler have to come to that outer lane to put one down. You put one down on either side of the outer lanes near the gold buff, or on the opposite side of the gold buff, because then you've got 2 objectives to contest for, and then maybe one in either jungle. It makes a lot more going on, and it makes a lot more, in my opinion, would make a lot more fights happen. That's what I would like to see. I know harvesters aren't going to come back, and I'm pretty sure Dunk and Prime ain't going to come back. But I'd love to know your boss's thoughts. Hopefully this video has been something a little bit different. It's actually been kind of nice because I can actually share a lot of my thoughts instead where I'm kind of being brain dead trying to play and trying to talk at the same time. So if you guys have got any questions regarding V42, I'm more than happy to try and answer to my best ability. But yeah, as per usual, bosses, take it easy and have a great day. Peace. So